I should have known something was wrong when he mentioned my dog's name. I never told him about Max. Never posted about him on my dating profile. Hell, I'd only matched with this guy 3 days ago. But there he was, sitting across from me at a Starbucks in downtown Seattle, smiling and saying, "So how's Max doing?" Golden Retrievers are great dogs. I felt my stomach drop. This is the story of how a Tinder date turned into the worst night of my life, and why I deleted every dating app one had the next morning. January 2023. I was 27, single, and honestly just bored. I've been on Tinder for a couple months. Nothing serious. Just swiping when I was watching TV or waiting in line somewhere. Most matches went nowhere. A few messages, maybe. Most guys either wanted to hook up immediately or couldn't hold a conversation. Then I matched with David. His profile seemed normal, good-looking, 31 years old, software engineer. A few photos, hiking at a Seahawks game, one with what looked like his family. His bio said he was looking for something real, not just hookups. We started messaging that night, and honestly, he was good, really good. He asked actual questions. About my job, I'm a graphic designer. About my hobbies, my favorite restaurants. He was funny, not trying too hard, just easy to talk to. After 2 days of messaging, he suggested meeting up. There's a great coffee shop downtown, he wrote. Low pressure, public place. You can leave whenever you want. I appreciated that. Showed he understood how women think about safety on dating apps. So I said yes. We agreed to meet Saturday afternoon, 2 p.m. at Starbucks on Pine Street. I told my roommate Sarah where I'd be. Sent her his profile screenshots. She did the same thing whenever she met guys from apps. Standard safety protocol. Saturday came. I got there 5 minutes early, grabbed a table by the window, ordered a latte. David walked in right at 2 p.m., and he looked exactly like his photos. Same height, same smile, wearing a navy blue jacket and jeans. That was the first good sign. Most guys on dating apps look nothing like their pictures. But David did. "Hey," he said, walking over. "You must be Jake." We shook hands. He ordered coffee, sat down across from me. The first 10 minutes were perfect, actually. We talked about work, about Seattle, about how dating apps are exhausting. We laughed about bad date stories. He told me about a girl who brought her ex-boyfriend to a date just to make sure he wasn't a serial killer. I told him about a girl who catfished me with photos from 10 years ago. It was comfortable, natural. I started to relax. Then he said it. We were talking about pets. I mentioned I like dogs, and David smiled and said, "So how's Max doing?" Golden Retrievers are great dogs. I froze. "I'm sorry, what?" "Your dog. Max. He's a Golden Retriever, right?" My hands went cold. I'd never mentioned Max to him. Never. I checked our entire message history on my phone under the table while he was talking. Nothing about a dog. Nothing about Max. And Max wasn't on my Tinder profile. I kept my profile pretty minimal. Just a couple photos of me. No pets. No family. No location tags. "How do you know my dog's name?" I asked. My voice came out quieter than I meant it to. David's smile didn't change. "Oh, I think you mentioned in our messages." "No," I said. "I didn't. I just checked." He laughed. Not nervous. Just casual. "Really? I must have seen it somewhere else then. Instagram, maybe?" I didn't follow him on Instagram. He didn't follow me. "I don't think we're connected on Instagram," I said carefully. "Oh." He took a sip of his coffee. "Maybe I saw it on Facebook." We weren't Facebook friends either. Something was very, very wrong. I decided to test him. "Actually," I said, "Max passed away last year." It was a lie. Max was fine. Probably asleep on my couch right now. David's face fell. "Oh no. I'm so sorry. That's terrible." "Yeah," I said, watching him. It was really hard. If he'd actually seen Max recently, on social media or somewhere, he'd know Max was alive. But he didn't correct me. He just kept apologizing, which meant he hadn't seen Max on social media. He'd seen Max in person. My apartment has a big window that faces the street. Max loves to sit there and watch people walk by. If someone stood across the street, they'd be able to see right into my living room. "I should actually get going," I said, standing up. "I forgot I have plans this afternoon." David's expression shifted, just slightly. The friendly smile stayed, but his eyes changed. Already? We just got here. Yeah, I'm sorry. Something came up. I grabbed my jacket, started walking toward the door. That's when he said something that made my blood freeze. That's too bad. I was hoping we could talk more about your work at Pixel Studios. I stopped, turned around. Pixel Studios was the name of the design agency I worked for. A small company, 15 employees, not well known. I hadn't mentioned where I worked. Not in our messages, not on my profile, nowhere. How do you know where I work? David stood up slowly. His smile was gone now. Jake, I think you're overreacting. How? Do you know where I work? Other people in the Starbucks were starting to look at us. David took a step toward me. I took a step back. I just thought, stay away from me. I said, loud enough that everyone could hear. I walked out, fast. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it. I got in my car, parked 2 blocks away, and locked the doors immediately. My hand was shaking so badly I could barely get my keys in the ignition. That's when I saw him, David, walking out of the Starbucks, looking left and right, looking for me. I drove home, checked my mirrors the whole way. No one followed me. At least, I don't think anyone did. When I got back to my apartment, Sarah was there. How was the date? She asked. I told her everything. She immediately pulled out her laptop, started searching. What's his last name? She asked. I opened Tinder. His profile just said David. No last name. Sarah searched his photos using reverse image search. Nothing came up. That's weird, she said. Usually if someone's using real photos, they show up somewhere. Facebook, LinkedIn, something. So the photos aren't real, or they're real, but the name isn't. We spent the next hour trying to figure out who David was. We found nothing. No social media profiles. No LinkedIn. No digital footprint at all. Like he didn't exist. Then I got a message on Tinder. From David. Hey, I'm sorry if I made you uncomfortable. I was just nervous and trying to impress you. Can we try again? I didn't respond. 5 minutes later, another message. I really thought we had a connection. Then another. Please don't ignore me. Then another. I know where you live, Jake. My entire body went numb. Sarah saw my face. What? I showed her the message. Call the police, she said immediately. Right now, I called 911, gave them the whole story. The dispatcher said an officer would come by to take a report. While we waited, I went to my window, the one where Max likes to sit, and I saw him, David, standing across the street. Just standing there, looking up at my window. I grabbed my phone and took a photo. He saw me, saw the phone pointed at him, and he smiled. Then he walked away, casually, like he'd just been out for a stroll. Police arrived 20 minutes later. I showed them everything. The Tinder messages, the photo I'd taken. They ran his photo through facial recognition. And this is the part that still gives me nightmares. The photo matched a man named Derek Klein, 34 years old. Derek had a record, multiple charges of stalking, harassment, breaking and entering. He'd served 2 years in prison, got out 8 months ago, and he lived 4 blocks from my apartment. Police went to Derek's address. He wasn't there, but when they searched his apartment with a warrant, they found something that made the detective physically ill when he told me about it. Photos of me, printed out, taped to his bedroom wall. Photos of me walking to work, getting coffee, at the gym, walking Max. Some of the photos were from months ago, long before we matched on Tinder. He'd been following me, watching me, learning my routine. Then he created a fake profile, fake name, fake job. Probably stole those photos from someone else's social media. He didn't randomly match with me. He targeted me. The police also found photos of 3 other men. Same setup, walls covered with surveillance photos. They're still trying to identify them. Still trying to figure out if Derek did this to anyone else. I got a restraining order, changed my phone number, stayed with Sarah for 2 weeks because I couldn't sleep in my own apartment. Derek was arrested 3 days later. They found him 2 cities over. He's currently in jail awaiting trial on multiple stalking charges. But here's what keeps me up at night. If I hadn't asked about Max, I wouldn't have known. If I'd ignored that one weird comment, I might have gone on a second date with him. Maybe invited him over. Maybe let him into my life. And I don't know what would have happened then. I deleted Tinder that night. Deleted Bumble. Deleted Hinge. All of it. I still date. But I meet people in person now. Through friends. At work. the old-fashioned way. Because I learned something that day. When you swipe right on someone, you're not just matching with their profile. You're trusting that they are who they say they are. You're trusting that they don't already know who you are. You're trusting that the person sitting across from you at Starbucks is meeting you for the first time. And sometimes, that trust is the most dangerous thing you can give. I still think about Derek sometimes. About how he knew where I worked. How he knew Max's name. How long had he been watching me before I even knew he existed? I'll never know. And maybe that's the scariest part of all.